Hey, what's up? Tim Sykes here. Just wanted to do a video on the changing market. I know I promised this the other day, but it's just been crazy trading, which is a good thing. But, I have to focus on trading first. Then I can make lessons about it. This is a 100-day chart of the NASDAQ, down quite a bit. 200 days, it's even uglier. The S&P 500, same ugliness. The Dow has actually come back quite nicely, which is crazy. And you got to keep things in perspective. There was this nasty headline the other day that the average retail portfolio was down 44% year to date. So if you're break even, if you're down a little, if you're green like all my top students and I, give yourself a round of applause because it's been a very tough year. But in this video, I want to try to lift up your spirits because I think that we're on the very beginning of a potential bull market, if not a bull market, at least a great market for traders. All my top students and I are green on the year. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to highlight that, but we need better opportunities. There hasn't been that many opportunities. I've said 2022 is a year for learning, not necessarily earning. And I think that's changing into the end of the year. You'll hear me talk about more about this in detail, but just want to go over a few quick subjects and some charts. Tax loss selling, okay? This is a big thing where a lot of beaten down companies get more beaten down towards the end of the year because people take their tax losses. They take the loss so they can deduct it from their income. They pay less in taxes. That creates oversold conditions with a lot of companies that don't necessarily deserve to be so beaten down. Guess what? That gives rise to the January effect, where beaten down companies can often spike very quickly in January. Because many people know about the January effect, it also goes into November and December. It's kind of cool where this isn't an exact science, but because stocks have been beaten down so much this year, and this is really the first year in like a decade that we've been beaten down this much, I really am excited about December and January. Already in November, we've seen several big spikers. I think that's just beginning. But really, I want to talk about this because the other day we had some positive CPI data for the first time in months where it looks like inflation is finally receding a little bit. And I said, thank you. Let's roll. What a save. And, a lot of students were confused. I continued because the markets were up. I mean, the NASDAQ, Dow, S&P were all up 5, 6, 7%. I said days like today are why short sellers are so incredibly miserable. It's never paid to bet against the US or these indexes for any extended period of time. Enjoy getting squeezed, you toxic lepers. Let this rally blossom in the new year. And this confused a lot of my students because I've been very bearish. I gave the warning last November, basically a year ago this week, saying that a crash is coming. We had the crash. Let me just pull that up. This is my Instagram and posted these charts. Bitcoin was down 70%. S&P 500 was down 20%. The NASDAQ was down 35% from my warning a year ago. I literally gave this whole talk dressed as like a construction worker with this outfit, with this hard hat, because I was so worried. I said, protect yourself. Everyone in the audience laughed. I was dead on right. Now, I'm saying like, let's roll, potential new bull market, absolutely beautiful new uptrend. Mark Crook, who's one of my top students, around 4 million in profits, props to him. But he was saying how like the biggest up days happen during bear markets. And a lot of people said, whoa, hold your horses, Tim. The bear market isn't necessarily over. For me, I'm not so worried because I'm not an investor. I'm a trader. I'm looking at the market as a means to an end. Can this market be better for trading? That was my whole purpose. It's been very tough in 2022 to be aggressive on anything because I think the market might just fall out from under me any given day, whether it's inflation, whether it's wars, so many other issues, energy, food crisis, pandemics. There's been a lot of nasty stuff happening, and now we're seeing a little bit of sunshine. And if you look at historically, when do markets bottom? It's actually months before all the data starts to trend upward. So this could be the beginning of something. Again, even if it's not the beginning of a full bull market, it's better for traders. That's what matters. Leave a comment below this video. Say, I understand and I will take these trades that the market gives me. maybe you can, create something more eloquent than that. But for me, I need solid trading opportunities. Otherwise, I can't do much. And I like rubbing it in. I say, how you feeling, short sellers? Also, before I get into charts, big props. Kyle Williams, 26-year-old trader, student turned master trader, now 2.5 million in the past 2 years, over 3 million total. Jack Kellogg, over 11 million in total profits. Challenge students. He's giving a webinar 8 days from when I'm making this. I guess I'll post this as late at night right now. So I'm creating this late November 14th, but I'll post it November 15th. 1 week from the date on which I post it, Jack Kellogg is giving a webinar for challenge students. Tune in November 22nd, 11 million, and he's been banking. And the crazy thing is he's been seeing this too. He says it feels like we are going to enter a market with multiple opportunities, days, weeks, month, zone in on what you're best at. And he mentions a lot of different runners. This was me and him the other day in Stockholm. I went all over Europe with him. And Lucas, you can see Lucas in the background giving everybody the finger. I didn't even see that when I posted this photo. I think it's kind of funny. We're at Franzen, which is one of the world's top restaurants, and we went all over Europe and we ate like kings. It was amazing. But today, 108,000 on the day for him. And for me, I might not be making six figures yet because I'm still trading small, but I really think there's a lot of opportunity. MMTLP, like this tweet actually went pretty viral. And I just said, look, MMTLP, this is what a short squeeze looks like. Jack Kellogg was actually short this, he lost, I think, 25 grand. Small compared to his gains on his other trades, but this is a beautiful breakout chart. And this is exactly what I'm talking about, where this stock, let me just show you this chart. Let me get it out of the way from my face. This stock has gone from 1 to 7, back down to the 3s, and then it was kind of getting bunchy up here in the 7s. Massive breakout. This is a perfect breakout, and I warned about this in video lessons last week. I said it on watch list last week. I said it in webinars last week. I said, watch this key level of 750, 760. Guess where I bought it today? 760. It keeps going, and I in another newsletter, I bought some in the low 8s too. I don't know how far this can go, but I love this breakout. There were like 20,000, 30,000, sometimes even 48,000 shares on the bid. Some short sellers are getting their butts handed to them. This is exactly what I'm talking about. When the overall market is running, you have breakouts like this. Mike Huddy came back to the challenge chat room today after a while. He's been living pretty well, but he said it reminds him of this breakout on GESI. Even though GESI failed eventually, guess what? It had some amazing days here on the breakout from 5 all the way up to 10. So in 3 days, it basically doubled. How far will MMTLP go? I don't know. All I know is it's the first green day. This is a classic pattern. I'm very glad that I alerted everybody. I prepared everybody ahead of time. Even when it was breaking out this morning, I said, watch this. And it was perfect. I mean, this is what you want to see, where you get this morning spike and it just holds at these key levels. It holds here in the 810, 815 area. Then it bases here in the 820s. Then it bases here in the 830s. Like, you have higher highs, higher bases. Absolutely primed for more. MMAT is also a related play, and this one broke out nicely. Look at these breakouts. WLAN. This was a beautiful breakout. I missed this. Jack Kellogg nailed it. Very similar uptrend, and you were in this kind of choppy zone the past few days. Today, massive breakout. And mind you, today the Dow dropped 200. The NASDAQ was down over 1%. Not a great day for the overall markets, especially into the close, but it doesn't matter. We have enough footing in the overall markets that drives stocks like this. TBLT, this was an earnings winner that I missed. Terrible, terrible long-term chart, but this is exactly what you're going to start to see happening with many more January effect plays. Stocks that are beaten down, stocks that have found a little base in the $1 or $2 a share, or maybe even under $2 or under $1 a share range. And you'll start seeing just a little bit of positive news, and things can really take off as they, formerly did. Like TBLT is a former supernova, but just look at this. morning spike, and it just kept uptrending. New high, nice little consolidation here, new high, consolidation, new high, and then it got a little overextended because it's up 70%. But we haven't seen plays like this. Like, this is very impressive. This is very good. IMMR also, sorry, there's going to be more and more plays that I'm going to, sometimes miss, sometimes, nail, but this is what you want to see. Look at this, clear breakout on IMMR, and it's a terrible long-term chart too. So we need to see much more of this, and I just love it. So, watch these short squeezes, watch these January effect plays. There's going to be so many. Also, dip buys are back. CLOW, another play. I'm getting a little overwhelmed already. CLOW has been a nice runner for the past few days. You can see here, nice stair-step pattern up, straight out of my penny stocking and penny stocking part 2 DVDs. What happened this morning? Oh, wait a minute. It was a perfect morning panic from the 170s down to 110. Several students nailed it. Props to you guys. Right back to the 170s. This is a huge, huge 50% gain. You just have to be quick. And that's why I'm making this video. You're going to start seeing more of these plays. Oh, does it look like this chart? Yes, morning panics happen all the time in solid trading markets. That's the beauty of this. Remember, leave a comment underneath. I want to see who gets it. Say, I understand the market is very giving right now. I will capitalize. I think that's different than what I said earlier. But you get the point, okay? The market is opening up, creating more opportunities than we've seen all year long. And historically, November to May is the best time frame. So all these indicators are converging. Obviously, we're not out of the woods with inflation. There's still a lot of geopolitical risk. I'm not saying like just invest all your money in the S&P 500. I'm not like the scumbag Michael Saylor who said, mortgage your home, mortgage your business, put it all in Bitcoin when Bitcoin was at 60,000. Anybody who listened to him has now lost their homes and their businesses. I would never go all in on anything. I just want you to be aware of how many great opportunities there are and how it's coming more and more. Also, one last trade that I want to go over, ASTS. This was my weekend play. Beautiful, where they said they were going to have a conference call on Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. You can see here, even though it didn't finish high, because, who knows what they said on the conference call, it probably wasn't as positive as people thought. But this run-up was on Friday. This morning spike was beautiful today. I sold into it pretty well. I locked in roughly $2,000 on it. Nothing huge. I actually sold too early as usual, but I protected myself and I took the single, okay? And you'll see this with weekend plays where, people get very excited on Fridays, on Mondays. I would never hold through a conference call or the actual news. This is a classic case of buy the rumor, sell the news. But this was beautiful. My first buy alert was in the 820s when it broke this key level here in the high 7s, which it couldn't break for a while. And, you had 30% upside over basically one trading day, or half of Friday and then half of Monday. The opportunities are there. We'll see. I'm still long MMTLP some. I think that this can go more. TBLT, I'll be watching to see what more this can do. I'll be watching other plays that start spiking. Get excited and get focused. That's the number one thing. Mike Huddy and I had a disagreement a while ago because, all my top challenge students and I were making 30, 40, 50, 70,000 per day in early 2021. And I had the perspective, I was like, okay, this is a bubble. I've seen this before. It's not going to last. While it's here, you got to capitalize. Mike Huddy doesn't have as much as experience. He's a young guy, wants to have fun. He was trying to get all the top students to go snowboarding. Not on my watch, Huddy. Not on my watch. I said, go snowboarding yourself. Go snowboarding when it's quiet, not during the bubble. He did go snowboarding, and he even admits it cost him like 50 or 70,000 on trades that he could have made, and probably a few $100,000 on the education that he missed while he was snowboarding. Go live your life when it's slow. Study up when it's slow. And you've had that opportunity basically all of 2022. Now into 2023, I think that things are going to really speed up. And I think that we're going to start to see more dip buys, more breakouts, more short squeezes, and it's beautiful. And I just want you to be prepared. You know, some people, again, were very, you know, questionable. I don't even know. I'm filming this late at night. Many people were very worried that I was like, why are you so bullish all of a sudden? You've been bearish all year. Welcome to trading, okay? This isn't politics where you have like, you know, one specific thought about gun control or something like that. You can't flip-flop. Trading is about flip-flopping. Go live more. Go study more when it's slow. Go work out more. Go spend time with friends and family when it's slow. You've had that opportunity. Now, when things start to ramp up, as they've already started to ramp up, focus on trading more. Focus on studying more. If maybe you're not there yet. I wished, you know, and I've said this all year long, I said, I hope that the bull market is years away. I hope that we don't have another bull market until 2024 or 2025 to give everybody 2-3 years to really study and prepare. Obviously, that is not the case. It looks like we're already turning the corner. The average recession in, you know, the average bear market only lasts like 18 months. So it's not like this stuff has ever really lasted that long. We still might get some ups and downs, but there will be bounces. And the bounce is on right now in terms of trading. Again, I'm not saying invest for the long term, say this is definitely the bottom, but start to recognize that even the slightest bit of footing in the overall market environment, which we've been seeing, opens the door to more trading opportunities, especially as crypto is crashing. The top most legitimate crypto companies are now looked at as Ponzi schemes and some very sketchy stuff. That brings more people back to stock trading. Regulated markets, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, all you idealists and communists out there, but regulated markets, capitalism works. And, you know, maybe crypto and blockchain technology will have their day in their sun again, but not right now, not when their leaders are crashing. And really, you know, it's probably going to get uglier because you don't know how many different cryptos and companies are interlinked and interrelated, and they're all loaning to each other, and it's all a mess. So for me, I like to stay away from the mess. I'm focused on trades, and you know, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a day adds up. You'll start to see me take bigger positions as we get more and more, you know, confirmation. TBLT, coulda, woulda, shoulda been in that. MMTLP, coulda, woulda, shoulda gone bigger. I wish MMTLP had more volume, but again, this is what we're going to start to see. We'll see more volume. We'll see more runs. We'll see more spikers. Everything is kind of gearing up to more activity, and I really want you to be prepared. Maybe you're just starting now. Ask questions. I'm giving a challenge webinar on the 15th after the market close. If you're already a challenge student, get in there, ask me questions. Go in the challenge chat room and ask Jack questions on November 22nd. Get in the challenge chat room every day. Learn from all the millionaire traders. Jack was live commentating on his trading today where he made 6 figures. Like, go back through the chat archive. You have that. You gotta study, you gotta learn these patterns. It's not about hot picks or hot alerts or following anybody else. All my top students and I are self-sufficient. And I'm very proud to teach a process. And hopefully, you know, my process, my rules, my tips can help you stay safe. I'm very glad that I warned about the crash a year ago. I'm glad to be thinking that we're at or near the bottom, at least in terms of trading, not necessarily investing. Be very, you know, clear about that. But I'm going to be more aggressive if I start to see more solid setups like this. Like MMTLP, just look at this chart. This has been many weeks and months in the making. WLAN, same kind of thing. Many weeks in the making. So when you start seeing these multi-day, multi-week breakouts, focus on them, watch them, respect them. I would not trade non-big percent gainers, non-clear breakouts. There's a lot of choppy stocks still out there. If you trade random setups, you're going to get random results. The way that my top students and I have now become wealthy, 30 plus millionaires and counting, It's focusing on solid setups where you have the odds in your favor. So I'll see everybody in chat. Challenge students, ask me questions. If you're not in the challenge, I'll post a link to the challenge. Get in the challenge. This is where all my millionaire students are being created. They have the most resources. And more importantly, everybody get excited, because I really think that trading is going to be very, very good to us November, December, January, and we'll see after that. But the next 3 months should start to be really fun. So I'll see you soon.